Dear friends, and welcome to another week of yoga. I'm so excited that you decided to practice with me today. I'm kind of going off of the theme of last week and talking about tending to our creativity and our passion, which is also the source of our digestive fire. So physically manifesting in the digestive organs, the gut. So if you're having any troubles just connecting to your creativity and your passion, that might be manifesting as some gut difficulties. But we're here today to balance those energies, to work with the solar plexus chakra, which is located just below the diaphragm. So if you place your hand over your navel, that's about the spot that the solar plexus chakra lies. So we'll be doing a lot of twisting and side bending, really to just stir up the digestive fire, get things moving in the body, and also emotionally increase our ability to digest life. So this is really defined in our overall zest, how we, our ability to digest our life experience and break down and pass through the emotions of the heart, which is very transformative. So this is also the chakra of transformation. And then, as you know, when we move up into the heart chakra, which is the next level up, located just below the collarbone in the center of the chest, we end up being able to integrate the physical and the spiritual, the physical realms of this transformative energy, this passion, the ability to create in the present moment. So I know that I just briefly touched upon last week how we allow others to take our energy, and by looking into the past and the future, we are stealing from ourselves our ability to have creative energy. So flowing from that, we're going to re-energize our passion and just really dig deep into this new year and the quantum field of opportunity that awaits us there. So begin to find yourself on your mat, getting nice and comfortable in your Sukhasana, easy pose, which is Indian style, ankles crossed. And your hands might come to rest, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Find that straight spine, aligning the chest just over the hips. Head over chest, chest over hips, and a slight tuck of the chin to point the crown of the head up at the sky. And starting here allows us to just immediately connect to the creative energy of the cosmos through the crown of our head and bring ourselves into the present moment. So find your natural pace of breath. Maybe you close the eyes to notice, to shudder away the physical and the typical perceptions of maybe noise or light around you. Pay attention only to the breath. Let go of anything else that is disturbing you from the practice, expectations of the future, maybe thoughts of the past. None of that is relevant now. Anchor into the present moment. Each sip of breath coming into your body and leaving, filling yourself with light and life. And the breath is that bridge to connect to the present moment. Begin to deepen the breath, just gently changing your natural pace, feeling it originating down in the belly, maybe gently pressing the navel out as you inhale. And then as you exhale, feeling the breath send back down through the throat. Navel tucks maybe towards the spine. Big deep breath in, belly fills. Exhale, let it fall back down. And continue with this pace of breath, making the inhale and the exhale a similar length, even in seconds. Maybe even a slight count going on in your mind. If you notice that you come away from that belly breath, your shoulders start to rise up towards your ears, So find your tall seat once more. Drop your shoulders back and down. Feel the heart is lifted. The breath deep. And beginning to stoke into that digestive fire. Beginning to create motion in the physical body, moving of energy. And now we'll take a mudra, which is a hand positioning in order to redirect energy in or out of the body. And there are so many positionings for mudras. You may have seen the most commonly used, which is index finger to thumb and 3 fingers extended. I don't know if you can see there. And so this mudra is commonly used in meditation because it connects us to self-wisdom, knowledge of the cosmos, knowledge of generations past. But the one we're going to use today is pretty simple. It's another one for igniting digestive fire, activating that solar plexus chakra. And we'll be moving more quickly throughout our practice today. So this one will help us to energize, to just begin to stoke up our radiance of our inner self. So go ahead and take your ring finger in to that little base of the mound where the thumb is. So you'll kind of start to feel that little fold of skin just underneath the thumb. And lock that ring finger in here. I'll get a little closer so you can just see where my ring finger is. Okay, and then thumb here. You're just going to take the thumb and place it right over top of that middle ring finger. Allow the other fingers to be extended, relaxed, and don't allow tension to come into the body. You're not pressing actively down to hurt yourself into your fingers, but rather just a firm and stable hold. So you'll go ahead and find that with the other hand as well. I'll just get up close so you can see one more time. It looks a little bit weird, like I'm doing like an alien symbol or something, but yes, so this is digestive fire mudra, also known as Surya mudra for activating the fire element. So close the eyes once more, come back into the inner self, and begin to breathe just like you were before, concentrating that deep belly breath, but now with the awareness of the mudra. Fingers long and extended except for that ring finger to thumb. The gentle pressing down. Notice if maybe you can take a deeper breath from the place where the solar plexus originates. And just continue to cultivate awareness for the next few rounds on your own. Notice how you feel. Sit up nice and tall. Allow that infusion of energy to come into the body. Feel into your own radiance. And create an even deeper and longer breath than maybe you were in before. Begin to sense a warmth and light coming into the space below the diaphragm. As you inhale, that light expands, stretching out into all the digestive organs. And when you exhale, it slightly contracts, but maintains most of its size. Every breath, we allow that fire to burn. And I will say this, if you're starting to feel any hyperacidity or any burning in the throat, just come on back to that just palms flipped up to the ceiling, because this does tend to stir up the acid forming in the stomach, which is not necessarily a bad thing, particularly in wintertime when our digestive fire is weak. Our emotional fire is also weak. We're in the middle of this cycle where things are hibernating. Much of the world around us is waiting to awaken itself and bring its own radiating light into the world. So find just a few more rounds of breath, maybe deepening, maybe slowing down or speeding up depending on what is calling to you. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and release the mudra And then we'll bring together our hands in Anjali Mudra, another fairly well-known position of hands coming to the heart, bowing the head and finding just a few rounds of breath and intention before we begin our physical practice. Noticing how you feel. Notice if you feel a little bit more energized, awakened, if the mind is seemingly more open and creative. And set an intention for your practice today. Whatever is coming to you, whatever is calling you in or that you need, bring it forth now. And affirm that intention with the affirmation that the radiant sun of my inner being fills me with abundant energy, and allow that to permeate through the rest of our practice together. When you find your next breath in, take a deep inhale, sweeping the arms up to the sky, and then as you exhale, hands come back together, drawing towards the heart in Anjali Mudra. Inhale, sweep the arms up, create a big circle around you. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, Anjali Mudra. And then dropping your right hand over to the right side of the mat. Inhale, draw your left arm beside left ear and reach up overhead, slightly dropping the right side of the body to the right. Finding a few rounds of breath here, maybe staying up on the palm, maybe dropping down to forearm or elbow if that's comfortable for you. And maybe bending the left elbow and just exploring. Inhaling to open the arm up, maybe slightly take the chest towards the ceiling, and then exhaling to sink deep into the stretch. Inhale, begin to press yourself up, slowly rising onto the palm, and then arms sweep up, back at center. Exhale, take it on over to the other side. We'll be creating a little flow here with this. Maybe you explore bending that elbow. Maybe you explore for a moment dropping down to the forearm on the left side. Inhale, gently rotate the chest. And exhale, come back through center. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, drop to the right. Inhale, chest slightly rotates. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, drop over to the left. Side bending to the left. Inhale, rotate the chest slightly, opening right arm up. And exhale, hands come back to center. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, drop it to the right. This is our last time. Inhale, rotate the chest. Gaze might go up. Exhale, come back through center. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, left side. Inhale, chest rotates. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, this time twist gently over to your right, bringing your left hand over to your right knee, right hand comes behind you. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, find a little bit of a twist in that space just below the ribs. Now we're not using this shoulder to pop out here and force anything, but we're rather just using a tiny bit of opposing force between our left hand and right leg so that we can find that twist originating below the ribs. 2 more rounds of breath. Feel into solar plexus. On your next exhale, come back through to center. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, take it on the other side. Inhale, nice tall spine. And exhale, find twist. Using the exhalation to deepen. 2 rounds of breath. And on your exhale, arrive back at center. Inhale, arms sweep up. And then as you exhale, release your hands on down to the knees. Begin to find some cat-cow tilts and spinal opening. And this seated cat-cow tilts might be different from what you know, instead of being in table pose. So begin to find that same motion, inhaling to drop the belly forward, rather press the belly forward, and then exhaling to round the spine, bring the shoulders around the chest, maybe tuck the chin at the last second. Inhale, come back through center, press the belly forward, arch in the spine, chest lifts up and away from the shoulders. Exhale, round. Continue. A few more rounds on your own. Throwing in any motion that may serve you here, maybe a little shoulder roll, whatever works, whatever feels good. And then as you become ready, you can continue with those for a few more breaths if you feel like that's working really well for you. For others, come onto your hands and knees, finding table pose, taking hands directly below the shoulders, knees below hips, toes can be curled under or feet laying flat. Begin to connect with your cat-cow tilts here, maybe noticing the difference from before, how it feels in the belly. Inhale, drop. Exhale, round. And continue in your own way. Keep the energy up, keep the flow of the body. One breath, one motion. Maybe you take your gaze behind you and get a little side body stretch. Like I said, throw in any motion you think would serve you right now. Whatever positioning you need. Then as you find your next exhalation, go ahead and lay the tops of the feet flat, send the hips back for child's pose, reaching the arms out in front of you, maybe taking a little stretch of the arms, walking fingertips forward, deep breath in, and then exhale, child's pose for just 3 rounds. We won't be here long. We'll begin to pick up speed. Deep inhales. Use your palms to gently press the glutes back towards the heels, bringing the chest down to the floor. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Rise away from the mat, curl the toes under, and find the first downward dog of your practice. You might need to bend the knees deeply, walking heels out. Bending each knee at a time. Find 3 rounds of falling out breath here, and that breath is just taking a nice deep inhale, and then exhaling with a forceful sigh, letting the breath go out of the mouth like you're pressing it out. And think of the belly, the solar plexus. Deep breath in. Exhale, press it out. Find downward dog even deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now a little challenge for those of you who'd like to try. If this is way too much for you, go ahead and drop yourself down to table just for a moment. So we're here in downward dog. You're going to take your right hand, send it back towards the left ankle, wrapping it around the outer edge of the leg. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend your left knee, bend your right elbow. Inhale, come back to downward dog. And exhale, left hand goes around right ankle, reaching to the outer edge of the leg. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, let it go. Reach right hand to left ankle. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. And keep going here with this process of just reaching back, finding this little downward dog twist here. Moving faster, moving slower, whatever you need. 1 more round each side. Then once you arrive back at downward dog, take your gaze forward, deep breath in. Exhale, send the hips back. Inhale, step or a little hop to the hands. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, tuck the chin, bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the legs, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward mountain, rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, hands at heart, mountain Tadasana. Inhale, upward mountain, Urdhva Tadasana. Arms sweep up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. Now here's your choice. You can either head back to downward dog or complete a vinyasa. Inhale, high plank, round in the shoulders, find space between the blades. Exhale, you can drop the knees to the mat or stay lifted, bending at the elbows, 90-degree angle for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, or up dog, which is tops of the feet press in, inner thighs spiral towards one another, and chest rises in between the shoulders. Or cobra, stay low. Exhale, find your downward dog. And that's just a little breakdown for you. I'll begin to move quicker here with no breakdown, so make your choice about the way you want to connect the poses here. Inhale, take your gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Feel the fullness of breath. Inhale, arms sweep up, Urdhva Tadasana, upward mountain. Exhale, hands at heart, mountain Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Tadasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, neutral neck. Exhale, hands plant, step back. Move through your vinyasa of choice. Either head back to downward dog, high plank to chaturanga, drop the knees, whatever you wish. I'm going to skip the vinyasa so I don't get myself too tired too quickly while I'm talking. So find your falling out breath once you arrive back in downward dog. Deep inhale. Exhale, press it out. Deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, last one. Exhale. Inhale, take your right leg off the mat. Exhale, take your right knee up towards your face and step it forward. Inhale, high or low crescent. Knee can be dropped to the mat. Toes are curled under. Left heel is lifted. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, sink into your left hip flexor. And if your left knee's off the mat, you can do this just by slowly bending that left knee, creating this nice shape without overstretching your hip flexor here. Deep breath. And as you exhale, take your right hand behind you, left hand in front. Gentle twist, pause here. Inhale, find the breath once more, rise back to crescent lunge. Exhale, gentle twist. Squeeze the inner thighs together, find stability. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, last time, gentle twist, sink in where you are. Allow the right hand to fall behind you this time. Inhale, left arm reaches up, reversing crescent lunge. Deep breath in here, feel that stretch across left, front, side body. Then as you exhale, left hand comes down beside right ankle. Inhale, right arm swings overhead to frame the foot. Step it back, find a vinyasa, or head back to downward dog. Make up your own vinyasa, whatever you want. Deep breath in, 3 rounds falling out breath. Keep that rhythm. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, take your gaze forward at the front of your mat. Exhale, step or hop to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, upward mountain, Urdhva Tadasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms plant, and step your right foot to the back of the mat, creating a nice wide space between left heel and right toes. Right knee can drop, or you can stay lifted for this little flow on the other side. Inhale, arms sweep up, low crescent or high. Exhale, sink in, find your stability. You're grounded. Feel underneath your feet, the earth, the space between each toe. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, find that gentle twist. Left arm behind, right arm in front. Inhale, come back to center, both arms sweep up. Exhale, right arm in front, left arm behind. Gaze can be where is comfortable. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, twist. This is the last one. Allow left hand to fall back to the back of the right thigh. And inhale, right arm sweeps up. Pause here. Just 2 rounds of breath. Feel that stretch in the right side body. The front of the right side body. Deep breath. And then exhale. Release right hand beside left ankle. Inhale, left arm sweeps up overhead. And exhale, plant it down. Frame your left foot. And step forward this time. Come off the right knee if you're down there. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale. And exhale, plant your palms. Now step your left foot back. Try to stay lifted if knee was down last time. Inhale. Woo, arm sweep up. Exhale, gentle twist. Putting it all together. Inhale, reverse your crescent. Right hand drops behind you. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, left hand comes down beside right ankle. Right arm swings overhead. And then exhale, plant your right hand down. Pause here. Holding this long lunge. Find length all the way from left toes up to the crown of the head. Don't allow the hips to sink too far down. Find that strong lunge stance, as if you're about to take off like a runner. 2 more rounds of breath. Build in the heat. Let it come. Increase the fire. Last breath. And as you find your next inhale, rise back up, high lunge. You got this. Exhale, gentle twist. Inhale, reach through your left fingertips, come up onto left toes, and drag the toes, your left toes forward, coming into this revolved half moon position. So, your chest should be facing the opposite wall of the leg that is lifted. So if left leg's lifted, chest faces the right. Find that twist like I spoke about from below the ribs. Maybe this right arm's too much for you. Maybe you just pause with left arm on the ground. Now we're just finding the pose. No pressure here. If you need to drop down for a second, go ahead, drop down. And as you find your next exhale, release left foot beside right foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands at heart. Pause for just a moment. Find your balance in your right foot. Maybe you take your weight slightly over to the right side. And then find tree pose just for a minute. We're using it to transition here. Couple rounds of breath. You got this. Then as you become ready, after you found tree pose, maybe you've just kickstand, or maybe you've just set up a little kickstand with your left foot here, left heel to left ankle. Maybe it's a little bit higher, just not along the knee joint. Wherever you are, inhale, take your left knee up towards your left elbow, and as you exhale, send that left leg back. Step your left big toe back and ground your heel to the earth, finding this 45-degree angle off the back of the mat. Inhale, warrior two. Hips are open in warrior two, facing in the long side of the mat. Torso directly stacked above, chest over torso over hips, gaze comes over right fingertips. Flip the palms up to gently rotate shoulders back and down. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Left hand drops beside left leg. Right arm stretches above and back. Then as you exhale, hover your right elbow off your right knee. Inhale, left arm comes overhead. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then this time, as you exhale, turn all your toes to the long side of the mat. Hands come to heart. Sink your left knee over left ankle in this wide-legged hip position. Take your right toes up towards the ceiling, here in Skandasana. You can use the hands to help you here. Maybe you go back and forth. Get a nice knee crack on the first one. Maybe you just want to hang out on that one side that feels really good. Whatever works for you. And once you're done exploring, go ahead and turn your right toes back up towards the front of the mat. Turn your left toes as well into that lunge stance like we were in before, like we're getting ready to leap off the mat. 2 rounds of breath. Free the heart. And then as you come to that end of that second exhalation, frame your right foot, step back, head to down dog, or choice of vinyasa, whatever works for you. If you like doing chaturangas, by all means. 3 rounds of falling out breath once you arrive. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Let it all go. This time, inhale, left leg reaches high to the sky. Exhale, coil the left knee underneath the chest, send it forward. Inhale, high crescent this time. See if you can do it. I'm sure you can. Arm sweep up. And as you find your exhale and your balance, slowly drop left arm behind and right arm in front, finding our gentle crescent lunge twist. Inhale, right arm stretches up, left hand falls to the back of the right thigh. Keep that lift coming up from the back right heel, that energy rising. Deep breath in, and then as you exhale, slowly begin to take that right arm in front of you and reach for our revolved half moon. Lifting your right leg off the mat, remembering the springiness. I'm going to move a little bit away from this wall though because I'm really close. Remembering the springiness coming up from this back right heel. So as you lift off from your revolved crescent here, or reverse crescent, excuse me, right fingertips lead. Inhale, come onto right toes. Bring the right fingertips to the earth. Right leg lifts. Maybe you inhale, ooh, and left arm extends up overhead. Finding that twist from the low ribs, right where they cinch in there on the exhale. 3 more rounds of breath. Nice straight line, all the way from right fingertips to left. Feel the heat, welcome it. And then as you find your exhale, release left hand down. Frame your left foot. Find that lunge position once again, that low lunge. Just a couple rounds of breath. Keep the fire going. Just a couple more poses here until we get to the relaxing portion. Keep your energy up. Remember the solar plexus. And on your next inhalation, go ahead and send your left leg back. Find high plank and either exhale into vinyasa, which is that high plank to chaturanga, to up dog or cobra, to down dog, or just send it on back to down dog. A little bit of silent breath on your own once you arrive in either downward dog, or maybe you are ready for a break and you need child's pose. Go ahead and find that. Couple more breaths of rest before we pop ourselves back on up to downward dog. Feel into what is moving. Feel the breath moving the body. The sweat coming. You allowing it to come. You allowing everything to rise. Everything to purify and transform with light, with sun. Feel the breath deep in the belly. And then go ahead and rise back to downward dog when you're ready. Deep breath in, take your gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands at heart. And we've just got to do those little warriors on our left side. So we'll transition using tree pose here. So kickstand your right heel at your left ankle, or whichever side you didn't do before if you were on the wrong side, because I know that happens. And find your tree pose. Maybe you notice you have a greater balance and you can take your sole of the foot up just to the calf, but never rest on the knee joint. If you want to go up even further, you can take the sole to the left inner thigh, just below the groin. Using that heel to dig in, not really the toes. Your toes should be a little bit free here. Feel the heel digging into that leg, left leg grounding down. Open hip. And when you find your next inhalation, you're going to draw your right knee up towards your right elbow using the right obliques. Then you're going to exhale, taking the right leg back, opening up into warrior two. Gaze comes over left fingertips, hips are open, chest over torso, over hips. Few rounds of breath here. Just allow yourself to be, even though it might be a little uncomfortable. It might be a lot of heat coming through you, and that's okay. Just keep it going, keep it moving. Keep it moving with the breath. Silence the thoughts that are coming up to doubt you. Next inhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand falls to the right leg. Inhale, left arm comes up. And then as you exhale, left elbow hovers just over left knee, right arm comes overhead. Inhale. And then exhale, find warrior two. And then sink on over to the right foot. Right knee bends, left leg straightens. Turning all your toes over to one side of the mat. And you can begin to walk back and forth like we were doing here before in Skandasana. Go ahead and turn around here. And the next time that you find an inhale, turn your toes back up to the front of the mat. Step your front foot back to meet the back foot. And find downward dog or another vinyasa if you would like, whatever you need. And then once you find your way to downward dog, knees will drop to the mat. Take them a little bit wider than you normally would for child's pose. And then send the hips back. Nice juicy rest here. Find just about 5 or so rounds of deep, slow breath. And then as you become ready, slowly start to walk your hands back towards the knees, bringing the glutes onto the heels, and just pausing here for a moment, allowing yourself to rest. Get a little quadricep stretch in. Maybe if this feels really good for you right now, you allow yourself to drop the hands behind you and just sink slightly back to stretch the tops of the feet open. If this feels really bad for you, oppositely, you can go ahead and slightly come forward off of the feet. And once you become ready, wherever you are, you'll go ahead and take your legs on off to one side and extend them out long. We're going to be folding forward, which for a lot of people is painful for the hamstrings or for the posterior chain, any part of the posterior chain in the back, low back especially. So what we're going to do is, if you've got a pillow or something that's a little bit firm, I'll show you. Ooh, whoops. Yoga props everywhere. And we've got a bolster or a bed pillow, whatever works. Go ahead and take that and slide it underneath your knees. If you've got some tenderness in either low back or hamstrings, whatever works best for you. Or another rolled up yoga mat would work too. Whatever just gives some height underneath the knee crease here. So without straining, without trying, just begin to walk your fingertips forward, folding as you go, and bending the knees enough so that you can bring the belly all the way to rest on top of the upper thighs. And begin to find your breath here. Reconnecting back, if you've lost your awareness of it, to that behind the navel space where our breath originates. Feel how as you're folding forward, the digestive organs are still getting a wonderful massage here, pressing towards one another. Back body expanding to create more space in between the organs. More space to fill the lungs up with prana, with that life-giving vitality. And just a couple more rounds here. Maybe you just allow the chin to tuck into the chest and the head to hang, if it's comfortable for the neck and the low back. And then as you become ready, moving ever so slowly and gently with yourself, begin to walk the hands back. You can slide out any props from underneath you if you had a pillow or a bolster at all. And then you're just going to slide the glutes slightly forward, bring your hands back behind you, and knees bend, heels out in front of the glutes. And what you're going to do is make sure that it's comfortable to bend your elbows, but be really careful about it. Your fingertips should be facing the low back. Ooh, excuse me. So then as you just begin to bend the elbows slightly, you'll find a wonderful stretch in between the place where the chest and the shoulders meet. So the pectoral muscles and deltoid muscles as well gets into there a little bit. So just using this gentle bending of the elbows. If that's not enough for you, scooch the glutes up just a tad, then bend the elbows. Find the stretch. And just breathe for a couple rounds here. Maybe you want to, while you're here, windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And then as you're ready, just go ahead and lower yourself on down to the elbows. And lower yourself all the way to the earth, taking the knees into the chest for Apanasana. Another great way to massage digestive organs, to tend to that inner fire, how we digest life and digest life experiences. Maybe you gently rock from side to side here. And take a few deep breaths. Just enjoying the juiciness of the present moment. Noticing the shifts that are occurring just second by second. And then once you become ready, you can release the legs, keeping the knees bent and the soles of the feet coming down to the earth. You'll go ahead and take your right leg over top of the left. Extend the arms out in a T position, so that can be hinged at the elbow at a 90-degree angle, or if you want to open them all the way up, you can. Find a deep breath in from the low belly. And as you exhale, lower your legs off to the left. Maybe you take your left hand and reach for the outer edge of the right thigh to encourage the stretch. Or if you feel any pinching anywhere in the groin, in the inner thighs, just take a step back. Maybe use your fist to support underneath that left leg. Or just find a little bit extra height. Maybe you even unwind the legs if that's really painful for you and it doesn't work. You can still drop your legs off to the left and feel into the twist. Allow yourself to be still. Relax any tension away from other parts of the body. And come back to that visualization of the breath as a glowing sun originating from the low belly, expanding up into every crevice of yourself. And as you find your next inhalation, you can slowly begin to lift the legs away from the earth. And then we'll find that position on the other side. So keeping the arms where they're at if that was comfortable for you. Maybe taking a little windshield wiper back and forth for a neutralizer, or taking the knees into the chest once more. And then when you're ready, crossing left leg over right and finding recline twist on the other side, making the necessary adjustments if that's a little bit too much for you and you feel any pinching in the groin or the inner thighs. Find your breath, stick with it. If thoughts interrupt, just gently redirect yourself back to the practice. There is no pressure, there is no judgment here. There is just being with you and your breath in the present moment. And as you find your next inhalation, slowly rise away, being careful with yourself, coming back to your center, maybe hugging the knees into chest one last time, or finding a happy baby if that would serve you right now, reaching for the soles of the feet, allowing the knees to come alongside body, opening in the hips. And this is a wonderful position for low back pain because it allows us to tug on the posterior chain just where the low back meets the lower half of the body without stretching the hamstrings, which can be really damaging to people who have low back pain. So we're really getting into that hip aspect, which, yes, low back pain is really, it's an integrative source. It's about hamstrings, about hips, even the positioning of the upper back and positioning of the legs and feet can create this over time. Just allow yourself to unwind. Be aware of the things that are occurring in your body. Be aware of how to address that for yourself. And then when you're ready, we'll move into our final resting position, Shavasana, corpse pose, everyone's fave. But I'm going to sit up so that you guys can hear me really well. But go ahead and get yourself reclined on your mat, take your legs out long, and just lay back like a little starfish, maybe taking the legs to the long side of the mat a little bit wider, opening the palms up at the side body and letting the arms just lay. Letting the fingers curl in towards the wrists with relaxation. Release tension away from the face. Relax the shoulders, the jaw, the cheeks, the eyes, the eyebrows, the forehead. Let it all melt away as if gravity is just smoothing down your entire body from crown to toes. Notice if there's anywhere that you are still holding tension that feels uncomfortable. Direct your brain and your cells to release that tension now. Direct your brain to send helper cells with the breath, with that fresh life, to clear out any crevices of the body where there is pain, there is hurt. Transform those emotions. Transform and transmute those feelings of tension and hurt. And that is what fire does. It breaks things down into another form, not necessarily a bad form, but just a different form that has great potential to create life. Maybe you notice that you've broken through something that was previously untouchable. Know that your creative power and potential lies in the present moment. It doesn't lie in the past or the future, but rather in the transformation that you create now by noticing the breath, by turning to your practice to become a calm and serene example of the light. And know that even if you don't feel this way, even if you don't feel any way particularly, you are always moving forward, you are always transforming. Each moment is alchemy. Feel the heaviness of your body weighing down into the mat. Feel your heart free, maybe beating heavily in your chest from our practice. You notice yourself calming, relaxing, almost as if the earth is accepting you in surrender and security, grounding you, and allowing you to display your gifts here on earth. And you are welcome to stay here for as long as you desire. Maybe just continuing in Shavasana if you're having a good experience. Or if you're ready to awaken, begin to just wiggle fingers and toes and slowly rise in your own way up to a comfortable seat. Wherever you are, draw the hands together at the heart. Bow to yourself in deep reverence for arriving at your practice and for creating alchemy, the change and the transformation necessary to digest life. I thank you for practicing here with me as well. The light in me sees and honors the light in every one of you. Namaste.